This was early on in dating app. I had probably seen that Tinder swindler Netflix show. I was worried.
Welcome to Carrie On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on.
The Carrie On podcast is a space for honest conversations, personal stories, and powerful perspectives. While we may discuss health, wellness, finances, relationships, and social issues, the content shared is for informational and storytelling purposes only and should not be considered professional, medical, legal, financial, or therapeutic advice. Some episodes may contain sensitive topics or adult language. Listener discretion is advised. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or affiliated organizations. We encourage listeners to seek out qualified professionals for guidance tailored to their individual needs.
Many people are choosing to get married later in life, but for brides over 40, it's a different ballgame than in your 20s and 30s. Is it possible to maintain and nurture deep, meaningful relationships after 40? Just as I'm starting my new chapter after divorce, my best friend is getting married, and we're going to talk all about it. Today, we're joined with my girl, Stacey Beaman, a 40-something bride with a love story still unfolding and thriving career that's anything but traditional. Stacey is a multi-passionate entrepreneur with a marketing business that helps small businesses shine. She also is the co-founder of PlyoJam, a sexy, sweaty, super fun cardio dance format where we met that has empowered thousands to shake their bodies and booties and feel amazing. My girl Stacey is spiritually centered and believes the world thrives on the love and grace we offer each other and the community we build along the way. And damn, she looks good too, right? So Stacey, welcome. Let's carry on about the 40-year-old bride.
Thank you so much for having me. What an intro, my goodness.
You like that?
Yeah, I got good about myself.
Right? I got even fancier cards here.
Wow, look at you.
There was nothing more exciting than when I found out you were like officially engaged to Ryan. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, I knew Stacey was going to get engaged before Stacey did. Because I had the privilege of helping pick out the ring.
Yes.
I think I should have a hat or a banner that says helped pick out the ring. But let's back up before we dive into Ryan and engagement and planning a wedding and all of that. I really want to know, like, after your first divorce, that kind of window of time before you really were ready to open your heart up again. And how was that journey along the way? Were you dating? Were you like, nope, I'm going to take some time for myself? Like, what was it that kind of like got you to get back out there?
Ooh, good question. There's so many things that led to that. So first of all, congratulations. This is so exciting to be here. Okay, so I did have a first marriage. It was very brief. It was when I was 30. And when I say brief, it was 14 months. So I almost like don't count it. I can barely remember it, to be honest. But so after that, I did date for a few years. Just different people in and out of some relationships. And then, so I was divorced at 31, dated until about 35.
Okay.
And nothing stuck. I don't even think I don't know what I was looking for at that time. I was like a lost little birdie. But then at 36, my whole career changed. My whole life changed, not in the romantic category, but my career trajectory. I left teaching and I started as an entrepreneur. I started building a business. And you guys, that became my love story for a really long time. I mean, I just was obsessed and in love with what I was doing. I was building a business that I felt so much passion and love for. And all the love that you might put into a relationship, I was putting it into this business that I loved. So I have to be honest, there weren't a lot of lonely moments during that time, even though as women, we do have that biological clock worry. So that was the only thing that was in my head during that single time was, shoot, my eggs, girl, my eggs.
Right.
But other than that, I just was like loving, I had a career in teaching, which was great. Amazing. I have so much love and respect for teachers. But it wasn't like that, like soul calling, And so for anyone who has found a career that stirs the soul, you're just, it doesn't even feel like work. And I know that's like the most cliche thing in the world to say, but it does. It feels like your love story.
Yeah.
That's happening.
What's that phrase? Like find what you love to do and you never work a day in
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's truly what it felt like. So I found that at 36 years old. Okay. And there was many times I'm like, damn, I wish I had found this at 26. You know, because at 36, I'm also going, oh, but your eggs and you got to get married and if you want to have children and all those things. So, so I just enjoyed the process and tried not to worry about it too much. I did try some fertility stuff, and we could talk about that on a whole nother episode sometime. And it didn't work out for me, unfortunately, but I still was enjoying my career so much. But part of my career was being very, very physical. And I was teaching dance and I hurt my knee, and I tried to keep dancing on this really injured knee for probably like 8 months, which made it far worse. And between a pandemic that slowed us all way, way down and made us kind of have a different, I don't know, view of the world. And, you know, you could only binge so much Netflix alone.
Truly.
And also this injury that took me from just this like hustle and grind and really high speed time in my life to much more grounded. I think that slowdown made me sort of have a view of the future and what I really wanted. And it was this one day, I think we had just gone to a class, Carrie and I, and we go to brunch often after we teach because we earn them mimosas. You know what I mean? We did a lot of jumping jacks to get that mimosa. And Carrie,
Us and everybody?
and Carrie and I were sitting at brunch, and I think I was having a little bit of real stress. I think I had just gone through another failed fertility treatment. And I was like, what am I going to do? Should I adopt? I didn't know what I was going to do. And Carrie is the one who said to me, I'll never forget the words, I think you need a partner. I think you need a partner in life. And Carrie had known me all these years as being single and traveling the world and building businesses and everything. And I kind of...
A partner, not a dog.
Yeah, I had a dog already.
I already had a dog.
I had a dog. And she said, I think you need a partner. I think, you know, maybe it's time for that. And I was like, well, she knows me really well. So it was that voice in my head, the pandemic, and then the slowing down because I had gotten injured. All of those things came together, and I was 42. And I had a knee surgery, and I'll never forget the day I was laying on a recliner with my leg up in one of those ice machines like Raptor, you know, because we had knee replacements. So my leg, and I'm like, well, I think I was a little hopped up on Norco, not gonna lie. And so I was like, well, let's see what's going on my Tinder. I'm gonna open my Tinder. I had certainly throughout the years opened and closed Tinder and Hinge and a lot of the other dating apps. And so I decided to open it up, and there was a message from my now fiance, Ryan. And it just so happened that Ryan and I went to high school together, and he went on Tinder, and I must have swiped on him. When I swiped on him, I didn't know I was swiping on someone I went to high school with. But when
you didn't know him in high school.
I knew of him, but not well enough.
You guys weren't in the same circles.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So by the time, I'm swiping on him, I had no idea. But then when I got the message and he said, hi, I remember, I think we went to high school together. I'm Ryan Lehman. I always had a little crush on you. I'd love to get coffee sometime. And so,
cute.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Can you tell how long ago he had sent that message?
Well, I saw exactly when he sent it, and he sent it on the very day that I had my knee surgery.
Oh my God.
Which felt kind of serendipitous.
Yeah, for sure.
Since that was one of the...
You need to slow down and swipe.
You got it. You got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So leading up to that time, you mentioned Tinder, and what was the other one?
Oh,
No, not Grindr.
Grindr?
No.
No, I did Hinge and Tinder. There might have been, I don't even remember the names.
Did you ever, in the app swiping, writing, and dating, meet anyone of interest? Any funny, app dating stories that you can share with the class?
Yes. I mean, I would just like to say I think there's probably single people who have done way more app dating than me. I never did a ton of it, but the couple times I did, they honestly felt insane. So one time my sister lives in Denver, Colorado, and she was like, "Can you come house sit for me? I'm going out of town." And I was like, "Sure." And I got to be honest, any single girls out there, y'all know, when you go to a new city, you're like, "Let me see what's up in this city. Let's see what."
Isn't Denver like Menver?
Dude,
Yeah,
the beards are abundant.
Men to every one woman.
Yeah, so I was like, let's see what's up. What's going on Denver menu? So I get up, I get into the app, and I see this guy is pretty good looking, and he's got a pretty nice profile. And I do remember that in his bio, we all have bios on there, and it said some initials. I don't recall what the initials are. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you what the initials were, but I figured it was some kind of personality. I think the Myers-Briggs. You get initials when you do the Myers-Briggs, and you're like, okay, that's my personality type. Yeah, whatever. So I'm like, oh, this is cute. This guy must have done a personality test, maybe for work or something. It turns out that those letters actually represented that he was very much into BDSM and was looking for a dom.
Oh, right.
I didn't know. I was so innocent. Had no idea. I can't remember, honestly, how it went down. I know I told you this story. Do you remember any details of what I told you?
You guys met for coffee.
Yes.
And he was kind of like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, something like, what did you think of my bio? Yeah. And I remember thinking or asking, was this your personality type? What does that mean? And
are you extrovert?
Yeah. And he goes, no, it's more like my sexual preference. And it was just so shocking. I was just so dumb and innocent. I didn't know anything. So I was like, well, that's nice, but that's not going to be for me. Thank you so much. God bless. No kink shaming here, but I'm not going to be like whipping you. Right. So, it was really I don't know what he wanted. I think he wanted to walk around with a leash or something. Yeah. It was something very startling. So yeah, there were definitely some other things. Can we not forget the time that you stalked me on a date?
Yes. So there was a time early on in your dating time when Stacy told me she was going to meet some random guy she met on an app at a sushi restaurant. And so I was like, no, you're not. Give me the address. Where are you going? And I went to the coffee shop right next door and literally stalked on both of them.
Yes.
Watching them. Don't you steal my friend. This was early on in dating app. I had probably seen that Tinder swindler Netflix show. I was worried, but it was fine. It was also daytime. I might have been a little...
Okay, but Carrie did not tell me that she was going to come. She just wanted the address where I was going for safety reasons.
Correct.
Next thing I know, the guy that I was on the date with had gone to the bathroom. Of course, I'm going to check my phone, right?
Obviously.
I check my phone. There's a text from Carrie that says, well, he's got a great head of hair. And I'm like, where the hell are you?
He did.
It made me feel secure, though, honestly. That was a nice guy. Just the chemistry wasn't.
Right.
He was a nice guy, though.
Okay. Hope. Mazel tov. Maybe he found love too. And I hope also on a podcast talking about it.
God bless.
Okay. Well, that's great. Let's talk about Ryan. Okay. So you decide I'm ready for love.
Yeah.
You happen to go on and find the guy you went to high school with. Graduating same class.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
But never.
He went to the same middle school where my father was the principal for.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
In fact, we go all the way back to realizing we were at 6th grade camp together.
Oh my gosh, you just were not ready to cross paths.
No, we were orbiting.
Light on doors. It's such a trip.
Totally.
That's so cool. So you meet Ryan and you decide to make the decision to get him back into a relationship. He's also divorced and wanting to start a new relationship. How long until you really felt, or was there a moment with you and Ryan where you felt like, I can open my heart to this. I can open my heart to this relationship? Was it something he said? Was it, is it like the romantic comedies, or was it just him as simply as saying, I'll get the bill, leaving a door open?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I don't think I think it was a series of little moments, So first of all, upon our first couple of dates, I was so not about him, just I had gone it alone for a long time. So when you've gone it alone in adulthood, you've gone it alone in your late teens and early 20s, but it's different when you're literally running your household and doing all your bills and running a business.
I got a mortgage.
You're kind of you're gonna really have to add something to this this already amazing life, and there's got to be a real gel here. So I think that what I noticed about Ryan is he was so unbelievably consistent. Okay, like I think you get to a time where you're like, I'm not trying to wonder anymore. If he is interested in me, if he wants to spend time with me, if I want to spend time with him, no games. Like this man, from the moment I met him, there was never a day where he wasn't sending me a text or a meme or a joke or a how are you or a good night. Every single day from the day I met him. So that was just like, okay, like I think one of the things I was looking for was consistency, and there it was.
And was that different than, say, in your 20s and 30s?
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys remember, I'm sure all of you remember those love affairs where you're like, what's gonna happen? I mean, it's so exciting,
Right.
but it isn't really longevity making,
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that this love isn't exciting. It's just different. It's like warm and always there.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Consistency. That's
Yeah.
really good. So now you've been dating for a while. You decide to combine households. And we've got the packing of the things. And like you said, you've been living alone and functioning quite well for over 8 years.
Yeah.
And now you're opening up your home. You decided to move into your place
Yeah.
because he had roommates.
Yeah.
How was that transition of being like, whoa, dude, you're like here all the time?
Like not, yeah, right. And why is your old Star Wars toys in my corner? What's happening? Like, I'm glad you have Jabba the Hutt from 1987, but can we sell it?
Right.
No. Okay, so that's all about the compromise, right? And that was just, but I want to like say something. Like, I think I'm saying some cliche things. He was consistent. There was compromise. Well, a lot of people can be that, but you also have to have that chemistry and the way you jive together. I probably have a much more energetic, like high personality, and Ryan is like this like smooth water that flows. So I think that made everything, even the hard stuff where you're like, there's so much crap on your table, it's making me bonkers, that it would just be like, okay, I'll fix it. And then he would tell me stuff and it would just be easy. Like, I think our way of communicating, and I don't know if that's because we're older, and I think we learn to not make everything huge. It was just like, let's just chat about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friends, it's Carrie Murray. And if giving a TEDx talk is on your vision board, this is for you. Ready for TED is an 8-week program led by my friend Tony Purry, PR exec, media trainer, TEDx speaker herself, and a fabulous guest on Carrie On. This guided experience is built just for women ready to clarify their message and craft a signature talk and share their big idea. Whether you're an expert, founder, or change maker, you'll expand your influence, raise awareness, and gain unshakable credibility when you hit the red circle. I know firsthand Tony supports women and has made progress, and it is remarkable. Apply now for readyforted.com and let Tony be your guide to the global stage. Did you have a moment when you were like packing up the stuff and you're like, why are your, that wedding gift you got, that knife set you bought from your first wedding? Was there moments when you're like, we don't need 3 blenders? I know this was a wedding gift. Like,
for sure. Combining households when, you're older is definitely interesting because you do have 2 toasters. You have everything, and that's a little bit interesting. I think the bigger thing about Ryan having already been married was he has a dog with his ex-wife. And so that was something that I really was like, you share custody? Like, this is what are you talking about?
where you met her?
I met her many times, yeah. And so that was something that I had to, it's interesting because I was just listening to this podcast and someone had written in with a gripe or something saying, my boyfriend still shares his dog with his ex. And the ladies that were listening and giving advice were like, that's an absolute no, you've got to cut that off. And I was like, oh, you guys are younger.
Yeah.
Because that feels really threatening, I think, when you're younger. And maybe when you're older, if the person isn't making you feel secure, then maybe even as older, you could feel insecure about that.
Or is inconsistent.
Or exactly. But when someone is like, oh, can you take my phone and write a text for me? You can see everything that's being written between them. Or you also have a dog of your own and you know that if I would never give my dog up. So
that says a lot about a man that says, I love this dog so much, I'm not going to be like, you get the dog.
No, I would actually, because of my relationship with, my animals, I would actually question if he had raised a dog from puppyhood to 6 and then went,
peace out.
And I'm like, where's your dog?
God, what's that like?
So
Another topic for another
That's
episode.
another topic for another. But do you know what I mean? Like that's character.
It really is.
It is.
Like, so was that hard to manage at first? Being
A
like,
little bit. I
yeah.
was like, you're texting. Yeah, for sure. But it goes back to how your partner makes you feel.
Yeah.
They feel.
Yeah.
You don't feel insecure because they've made it so.
Yeah. Can I share with the class the other stalking story I have?
Of course.
Okay, so this one is a little bit more embarrassing for me. And I wasn't going to share it, but now hearing you talk about Ryan, first off, I adore Ryan. When Stacy was first dating him, we have a very tight group of friends. And of course, she never shared anything. She was very like tight-lipped. You guys can ask me one question. That was it. And so we asked, what does he do? Oh, he works at this particular business. I was like, okay. And we were getting closer to where, who's going to meet him first? Who's going to meet him first? Of course, we're now all vying for spots to see who's going to meet Ryan first. And I was determined to be the person who met Ryan first. So after a boxing class, I'm like, I'm going to go stop into his work. I'm sweaty as hell. I look like shit. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So I go to his work. I show up. No Ryan. And I'm looking around. I'm like, where is this guy? He told my best friend that he's at work and he's working all day today. And she was like, okay, I'll see you after work. No work. I ask, is Ryan working? There's no Ryan that works here. What?
Very fishy.
Very fishy. So I call another friend and I said, he doesn't even work here. He's totally lying to her. He's going to kill her in the middle of the night. We're never going to see her again. And she said, Carrie, you're at the wrong one.
Wrong business.
Wrong business completely. So oopsies.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But again, it's, protecting your friendship.
I love that. That's very endearing to me.
Yeah. So let's talk about the wedding. Oh, wait, let's talk about so I got to help pick out the ring.
Yes.
Can we get a shot of the ring?
Oh, yeah.
Show the Stacy camera.
Here's the ring right here. It's gorgeous.
Stacy Cram. You see, he did a great job.
He did. He did a beautiful job.
In your 40s, you're kind of like different than your 20s. I'm sure we have this like grandiose idea of like flower petals everywhere, cue the violins that
Skyrocket.
Yeah.
Skywriting.
And it's like, is he even there? I don't know. I want the ring. I want, all of it there. But now you're in your 40s. You're a little bit more practical, a little bit more realistic. You've lived some life. Tell me about the engagement. Tell me about how we proposed. And as the planning's going, how is it different planning in your 40s compared to planning in your 20s?
Planning a wedding?
Yeah.
Okay. So the engagement was lovely. We were heading to Mammoth where he has a family condo. And we were just going to go there for a week to hang out in the summertime. And there is a beautiful place called Twin Lakes. And right near Twin Lakes, Twin Lakes is literally 2 lakes.
Yeah.
And right there is this place called the Forest Chapel. And it's actually a chapel in the forest. It's so beautiful. And we had gone there the summer prior. So I remembered it. And he goes, should we go check out the Forest Chapel again? And I'm like, sure. Thinking nothing. I mean, I had not a stitch of makeup on, so you can imagine.
Right.
I did not know this was happening. And so we walk across the bridge and we go into this Forest Chapel. And the sun is like beaming through the trees. It is stunning. And I remember sitting down on this, it's like these cut trees in half are the trees. And I sit down and I remember going, oh, it is so beautiful right now. Like the sun, I could hear the birds chirping. And he stands behind me and he says, you should take a video. It's so beautiful. And I said, you're right. And I take out my phone and I start videoing and he's behind me. And he starts totally doing this like dad thing. He goes, here we are in Mammoth Lakes. It's July 6th. And I'm like, dad vibes. But it was cute. And then I'm like this, and then all of a sudden he pulls out the ring. And I'm like, and then my phone kind of like drops and then the video, so it catches me going, and then the video stops and then he comes around, he gets on his knee and he says, me.
And what's the wedding date?
October 25th, 10/25/25.
Love that.
Now,
Now, do you have any advice for someone who maybe's never been married before and is, still seeking love in their 40s, 50s, 60s? What advice do you have for that, bride that has not found the one yet?
Well, there's so many things to say. I think that there can be a time where you actually start to think, maybe love is just not for me. Like I've got the great friends and I've got the great family and I've got the great career, and maybe love's just not in the cards. You almost start to shut yourself to it because it sort of hurts to keep thinking it's not there for you. but you just never know what is right around the corner. So I think keeping hope is like one of the most important things, that you just never know what's right around the corner. I mean, like
Staying
open and just, enjoying in the moment. Like, don't waste the time, while you're waiting. I think our friend has the don't waste the wait.
Yeah.
This idea of, keep living.
Yeah.
Don't make it your whole thing, because then once you're ready to find that person, you got all this interesting stuff about you. You haven't just been waiting. Also, I think we think love is going to come in this perfect package, and it does not. So I think being really aware of what really matters, is really important. And I think that changes from your mid-20s when you're like, I want this cookie cutter look and feel and idea, and to the 40s where you're like, I know myself and I know the world a little bit better, and I know what I want in my partner.
And you're not willing to compromise it so much,
No.
Yeah.
But there's other things that you do need to be willing to compromise on that you thought were like the be all and end all, and they're
Like
not.
what?
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm trying to think, because it's funny. Like, now I see Ryan through these rose-colored glasses. I just think he's perfect. But if I'm like, maybe you thought someone was going to have like the most epic career, or maybe you had an idea of someone being really tall.
Chris Hemsworth.
Or whatever you think, and then all of a sudden you're like, but this person is perfect for me.
Oh, yeah. I love that. It's very reassuring as one of your favorite people on the planet.
Yes.
That I really adore Ryan, and I know he's going to take care of you. And I also know if he fucks it up, he's in a lot of trouble.
He in big trouble.
Yeah. So, but this is very, very, thank you so much for sharing this. Now we had a game, but in order to have the game, we're going to have some champagne.
Oh, darn.
I know, because we have to toast to you.
Okay.
For women who want more than just a getaway, Two Peacocks Travel offers transformative journeys that blend adventure, connection, and empowerment. Imagine wandering the colorful streets of Morocco with new friends, sharing stories over a meal in Peru, or conquering a new challenge with the encouragement of a supportive travel group. These experiences aren't just about places. They're about people, growth, and creating traditions that extend beyond the trip. It's time to travel with purpose and find your travel bestie and make an unforgettable memories. Join the movement at twopeacockstravel.com. Okay, let's play a game.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's called What's on Your 40-Year-Old Bride's Gift Registry? Okay?
Okay.
And you're going to answer with either yes, please, or I hope it comes with a gift receipt.
Okay.
So, number 1, a 12-piece setting of matching fine china and crystal.
I hope it comes with a gift receipt.
A 10-day camping trip in Spain.
How dare you?
I know.
That was cruel. Yes, please.
Okay. Monogram tea towels.
Gift receipt.
A Vitamix.
Gift receipt.
A Fiji vacation.
Yes, please.
Okay. Ballroom dance classes.
Yes, please.
Watercolor painting classes.
Yes, please.
A toaster.
Receipt, please.
Season tickets to a pro team's game, like Dodgers, Lakers.
Please. Yes. Ryan would love Dodgers.
Scuba gear.
Scuba gear?
Scuba gear.
You said scuba deer.
Scuba gear.
No thanks. Receipt, please.
And last one, a puppy.
Oh, come on now. That's not right. I'm going to have to go receipt, please, for now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll keep the
We're
puppy.
full at the Beaman League.
Yeah, it's true. You have 2 loves.
We do.
I love. Well, thank you, Stacy, so much for joining me. Cheers again
Thank you so much.
for you and Ryan.
Thank you.
And cheers to everyone out there who's looking for love in their 40s. Don't give up. Let Stacy be a perfect story.
Absolutely.
That your love is out there waiting for you, and you're not going to meet that special person sitting on the couch watching Netflix.
Well, got to get out there. Yeah.
I'd love for everyone to sound off in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube about the love you found after the age of 40. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me and Stacy on Instagram and all the places. Stacy, tell the people where we can find you, learn more about you. If we got a small business we need support with, for the website, if we want to shake our ass with PlyoJam, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Stacey Beaman, Stacey, Beaman spelled Beaman, Beaman. So follow along there. You'll see all the things, my marketing business, my dance business, and all the wedding stuff leading up to the wedding. So follow me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, thanks for carrying on with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carry On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.